All right, if you are listening, give me a thumbs up. There we are. All right. Thumbs up if you're in and you're listening in. All right. Sorry for the delay. My daughter woke up at 2 a.m. And I'm going to explain all that. I think she worried herself sick. But she woke up at 2 a.m. today and she said she didn't feel good. She had a sore throat. So anyway, here I am. So today, I didn't get any questions come in from the Q&A. So if I don't get any questions, then I'm just going to talk about some other topics. So I think this one's going to be a little bit on the coronavirus. Now, I haven't done the in-depth research on it as many other people have, but I do have my own belief as to what's been going on. And at the same time, I'm not sold that we need to be worried. I think everybody thinks that the world's coming to an end. I don't agree. It seems like this happens every 6 months in the wintertime. I believe that there's some propaganda involved in this. So just aside from that, I do believe people in China are getting sick, but I think, you should be aware that majority of the people are actually older and they're immunocompromised. So they have a weakened immune system, both innate and adaptive, which happens as we get older. But anyway, I also don't trust China and that they're being actually fully transparent. And then there's also some conspiracy theories with, Bill Gates, and you can do your research, 5G. I mean, there's other things going on. But regardless, I know it's a valid concern, and it is here in the US. So let's talk about that a little bit here. And I'm going to talk about the things that I'm doing because I actually have to travel to Denver in another week and a half or so. And I'm a little concerned because I'm going to be in an airport, and you don't know when people are flying from all over the world in an airport, in an airplane. It's contained, there's viruses being transferred. So what am I doing to help myself protect myself from getting the virus? And even if it's not coronavirus, what about the flu? What about a cold? What about strep throat? I mean, there's things. So I wanted to make this live. It's going to be short and sweet. Only 20 minutes. I do have an appointment at 12, but I wanted to get the biggest bang for your buck. What I mean is, what things can you do to protect you from this virus or other viruses, or even just overall IC healing? Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to share a presentation I put together. Okay. So is it really the end of the world? I don't think so. I know it's a hot topic. Just a really big background. What is a coronavirus anyway? It's a classification of viruses that includes SARS and the common cold, actually. I don't know if you knew this, but the common cold is a type of coronavirus. It attacks the nose, the sinuses, the throat, and the respiratory tract. So a lot of the people who are falling ill, it's affecting their respiratory tract, their ability to breathe, their heart. It's also going into the heart. It can spread anywhere, and it can also cause pneumonia. The flu does the same thing. This one's interesting because it originated in animals and it spread to humans through body secretions. So the virus can be transferred through body secretion, and it affects people through hand contact, cough, sneezes, tears, urine, and feces. Don't touch anybody's poop. All right, so it's really dangerous for people who have a suppressed immune system, so the elderly, so usually people over 70, or people who have an already immunocompromised situation. And I do believe people with IC do fall into this category, which is why I'm bringing this to your attention. And this is evidenced by multiple infections, co-infections, a lot of adrenal dysfunctions, and all these other things, inflammation that people with IC have. So yes, you should be concerned if you come in contact with this, if you have immunocompromised state. Okay. Now my immune system is actually really good. In fact, when I catch a cold, I can feel it coming on, and I immediately, like within hours, I could feel it leaving my body. I wasn't always like that. There was a time where I was getting sick every 2 months, and I would get a cold, the flu, stomach virus. I was constantly sick. I mean, I had like the worst immune system. I thought if someone sneezed on me, I was going to catch it. That's not the case anymore. I have really worked really, really hard to build up my immune system. So, and it wasn't easy, but it took a while. So that's why what I want to share with you today isn't necessarily going to be long-term strategies, although that's important. Like, you should definitely look into long-term strategies to build up your immune system, but you can't do that overnight. I always tell people, you didn't get this way overnight. You've had this problem. It's been brewing, and it's going to take just as long, maybe, to get out of it. So that's why I don't want to share those kind of things, because that's not going to help you for tomorrow if the coronavirus comes into your town. I want to share you things that are a little bit more immediate, that you can kind of have in your toolbox and maybe you want to use for your parents if they're elderly and you're concerned about it. So key points for this is to support your immune system in the short term, also the long term, which again, long-term strategies would involve, running lab testing, identify where your immune system is compromised, finding out what's attacking your immune system, all the things we talk about in IC Healer when you work with us as a client, whether you do coaching or group coaching, one-on-one coaching, or you buy the course. Any of these three ideas will help you with the long-term strategy. But with the short-term strategy, we still have to support our immune system in the short term. And then we should have things that actually weaken the virus, right? Don't we want to weaken this virus so it doesn't come in and do the damage that it's doing, okay? So, and also, please don't stress. If you think you're going to get sick, you will. And that was what I wanted to say about my daughter. We're supposed to have a conference with our teacher today because she's not doing well in science. And she must have worried herself sick, because she woke up in the middle of the night with a raging sore throat. Now, she may have had this sore throat. She may have already had contact with the virus, but because she got worried and the stress lowers your immune system, it manifested and became an infection. So don't think about, I'm going to get the coronavirus, because if you think you are, you probably are. All right, so let's move on to my strategies here. Number one, as you guys know, I absolutely love pH structured silver. That is my go-to. It's alkaline silver, and it destroys bacteria, viruses, and yeast all at the same time. So not only are you going to protect yourself from the coronavirus, you're going to protect yourself from your UTIs and candida infections. There are no man-made drugs that can do this. Okay, so silver liquid and gel are powerful for protection from viruses, but it has to stay in contact with you for about 5 minutes to destroy it. Okay, now you should ingest it because it goes through your body unchanged, unmetabolized. So it just goes through all your organs and cleans them out, and it doesn't change in its structure like a lot of other supplements do. And that's why it's great for UTIs, because by the time it gets to your bladder, it's the same structure molecularly, doesn't change. Now I like the gel, so let's see if I have any here. Yes, I do. So here's the structured silver, and I just ordered a case. So it's a first come, first served basis. If you order it on the website, so you go into ichealer.com and you can order it. And the gel can be used as a hand sanitizer, okay? Again, first come, first served, because I am actually saving a few bottles for myself for my trip and also for my family, because I'm worried about my parents. They're in their 70s. So if you want to order it, I do that ASAP before they run out. I just ordered a case of 12. So quick. ichealer.com. Once I run out, I'm gonna have to order another case, and I'm not sure they're even in stock anymore at this point. Funny, yeah, some things are out of stock. I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, so now the hand sanitizer you can use, and actually it's good because if you keep it on your hands, it actually protects you long term. So you don't have to worry about with regular hand sanitizer, you have to continue to apply it. But apparently they're saying with this, you don't have to apply it as often. Now, interesting, I started using this on the first sign of a cold. I just gave it to my daughter last night, and within a few hours, I could tell the cold leaving my body. So I know this stuff is legitimate. Even my parents, who are doubters, they took it when they had the flu, and it shaved the time that they had the flu. So even if you catch the virus, you can still take this, because it'll actually help disseminate the virus to help you get better faster, so your immune system can take care of the job. Okay, so this has actually been advertised and really promoted by Dr. Peterson. And he says, and I will quote, the coronavirus is a virus that has been proven to respond to alkaline structured silver, and it will destroy all forms of viruses. It'll help protect people from the coronavirus, as well as will help people recover more quickly that are suffering from it. That's coming from his mouth. And he's researched the heck out of this. Okay. All right, let's move on. Now, the next one. All right, so this one is immune nutrition. Oops, I just realized I needed an image here. 1 second here, I forgot an image. Apologize. This is what I get for waiting till the last minute. All right, there it is. Good thing I'm fast with this. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, number 2. I have to thank Gail Clayton, Dr. Clayton, for this one. I didn't know about Tocotrienols as much as I should have. I did learn about it in my certified nutritionist CCN certification, but I didn't really put a lot of attention to its role in how it would prevent us from getting the virus. So thank you, Gail, for this. It will strengthen your cell membrane and improve the integrity. So it's known as the master membrane protector. So it also protects your heart and your lungs from any of the inflammation and inflammatory cytokines that are attacked during the virus. So it protects all of your barriers. And keep in mind, your barriers are really important for preventing viruses and bacteria from getting in. And we always talk about this, but it's really important your mucous membranes are healthy because that's what protects, that's your first line of defense, right? Your barriers, first line of defense, skin, mucous membranes, even before you get to the cells, it's the first line of defense that blocks things out. And if you have holes in your mucus barrier or leakiness to it, things actually can get in. And we talk a lot about this in my course. So I started taking this. I'm doing 4 caps twice a day. So she says that dose should be pretty good for helping build the barrier and keeping the virus out, and also their toxins, because their toxins are just as bad as they are. It plus also acts as an antioxidant, so it's got dual benefit. So that one is the next one that I'm actually taking. Now here's the next one. Immune nutrition. I really love this one. This one is basically mushroom based and polysaccharides and monosaccharides. So this is actually immune modulator. So it's not necessarily going to stimulate your immune system, but it's going to help modulate it so that it works better. It has things called beta glucans in it that stimulate the activity of macrophages, which actually go and gobble up these bacteria and these viruses. And they also are able to release these cytokines as well, which are enabled by the immune system so that the cells can communicate with each other better to kind of say, hey, there's a problem here, Houston. We got to go after this virus. Beta glucans actually also stimulate your white blood cells, known as your lymphocytes, that can bind to these viruses and release chemicals to destroy it. So this is a very, very important tool. It is a bit of a longer term, but can also be used in the short term. I just take 1 cap a day for maintenance, and I take 2 caps a day if I'm coming down with something. And this you can order using the coupon code ICHealer, and you'll get a discount. And I'll post I'm going to post a PDF on where you can get all this stuff. Okay, so don't worry, don't get scared. Don't worry, I'm going to show you where you can buy all this stuff. I'm going to show you where to go on FullScript, where to go on the websites to buy this, and I'll give you all the coupons and everything. Now, I like immune nutrition also because it has monosaccharides, and about 200 of them are found in nature. And so these are important because the glycoproteins on the surface of every cell serves to signal other cells to tell them what to do. So if they don't have enough of the right saccharides, they can't make the correct glycoproteins, and the cell-to-cell communication is disrupted. You don't want that, especially with your immune system. So this product allows your immune system to communicate better with one another, the cells. And finally, it has vitamins and minerals, which we know are important for your immune system, also for converting food to energy and repair and repairing cellular damage. And then amino acids also. These actually contain amino acids too, which are important for healing, right? Healing, repairing tissue, because if you get a cold, you're going to have some tissue damage and debris, and this actually helps repair that, okay? So let's move on. Next one. All right, so liposomal vitamin C, people underestimate the power of this. I have to tell you, this is out of stock. Luckily, I bought 2 bottles of it before it went out of stock. I had a feeling it would go out of stock. So right now it's not available. I think everyone's rushing to get their liposomal C, and for good reason. Several authorities have agreed that high doses of vitamin C, along with D, zinc, magnesium, and also A, can fight viruses. Now, there's Doctors Carol Dean and Thomas Levy, their world authorities on magnesium, have stressed that this mineral is involved in 1,000 metabolic reactions to support your immune system. And a lot of people with IC are low in magnesium. Now, magnesium is also involved in nerves and bladder. People who take magnesium report that their bladder contractions are improved. They have less muscle cramping. So it's involved in nerves and signal transduction and things like that. So very, very common deficiency. So I recommend you can get a form called magnesium glycinate, which is very bioavailable. And then zinc and vitamin D, and I have all that in the full script favorites that I put together that I'll share with you. And then vitamin A is also really important, especially in the short term. You can actually take a relatively high dose of vitamin A in the short term to stimulate your immune system. I found a lot of people with IC actually have a genetic SNP from the genetic test that we run that impairs their ability to convert beta carotene to vitamin A. So it's not enough just to eat carrots. You can't just eat carrots. If you're not converting the beta carotene to vitamin A, it's not going into that metabolic pathway for your immune system. You need it in the form of vitamin A. So then, in a case like this, because we're in a situation where we're trying to protect our immune system, I would take vitamin A. Okay, and you can take about 25,000 IUs in the short term. So if you start having symptoms, you can go ahead and start to bump up your dose of vitamin C. You can take about 2,000 milligrams every hour up to bowel tolerance. Now, I'm not sure if this one actually gives bowel tolerance like the ascorbic acid does. I think it does. I haven't actually tried it. But all that means is if you increase the dose to a point where you start having a little bit of loose stools, you've achieved bowel tolerance, and that's your therapeutic dose. And you should just shave off right about 25% of that dose and maintain it. So if it takes you 5,000 milligrams or 5 grams to get to bowel tolerance, then take about 25% of that and just take that for the duration of your cold until it goes away. It really works. Now, you could go to the hospital and do IV vitamin C or a clinic. We have a clinic down the street that does the IVs. I think some clinics are taking them out because of FDA stuff. But if we can do get more hospitals on board with IV vitamin C, I think we'd have a much better situation and much better patient outcome. But anyway, I've done IV vitamin C. I love it. But I think the liposomal is just as good. I mean, in higher dose, of course. And like with the IV, you just get a 1 shot, whereas this, you have to continue to take it. But anyway, let's move on. I only have a few more minutes. Okay, Andrographis. It's a medicinal plant which is reported to have antiviral properties, also antibacterial and immunoregulatory activities. So there's a lot of research on this. I've done some of it. I need to do more, but I looked at a few journals, and it seems very promising, and it also can stimulate your immune system. It's most widely used to treat cold and flu symptoms, so it's a natural immune booster. And in research published in 2017, scientists sized up about 33 previously published clinical trials and found that Andrographis appeared to be beneficial for relieving symptoms of acute upper respiratory tract infections, right? And that's what this virus does when compared to other herbs. So it can also shorten the duration of colds, cough, sore throat, and sick days compared to standard care. So it's really worth looking into. In another study, I examined the effect of the herbs on the common cold, and they found about 4 to 5.6 milligrams of andrographolide plus ginseng. I didn't include ginseng here, but combined with ginseng, taken 3 times a day, also helped reduce the duration of the cold and the flu. Okay, so that's the next one that I will be taking with me. All right, Megaspore. Why did I put a probiotic in here? Well, as you guys know, 80% of your immune system resides in your gut. And the majority of Americans, especially those with IC, are dealing with dysbiosis and very low gut immunity, as we see when we test secretory IgA. What Megaspore does is comes in and reconditions the gut and helps establish a better gut flora. And as a result, you have a better immune system because 80% of it's in your gut. So now we know most of our pathogens can enter through the mouth and through the gut. So it makes sense to support our gut as well as our respiratory organs and our innate and adaptive immune system. Okay, so it's like a 3-pronged approach. Okay, moving on. Argisept. Now I have to thank Melissa for this one. Hi, Melissa. This one is, she introduced to me because of antifungal and anti-enterococcus, because I was dealing with a chronic enterococcus infection in my early days of IC. It is 100% citrus extract, and it's made from grapefruit, tangerine, and lemon. Now, GSC, which is grapefruit seed extract, which is the main ingredient in here, is reported to have many pharmacological benefits, and that includes antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-carcinogenic, so cancer, and antimicrobial. But it has recently gained a lot of attention in the food industry. A study in 2011 evaluated the antiviral effects of GSE and showed that not only did it demonstrate antiviral properties, so it helps disseminate the virus, but also antioxidants, so it can protect you in case you contract it. Another study in 2002 demonstrated that it can activate Th1 cells, which we need in order to for our adaptive immune system. So in case you actually are encountered with the virus, it helps stimulate that. And it can produce IL-2, which are these inflammatory cytokines, and IFN gamma to enhance cell-mediated immunity, okay? We also demonstrated that this effect is biologically significant. So these are the studies that I'm reading. It's a natural blend of citrus with antiviral and antibacterial, antifungal properties, and it destroys the body's harmful microbes and bacteria, and it has no side effects, okay? It's extremely useful, non-toxic, and health-enhancing. All right, so those are the main ones. So just to go through them again, silver and silver gel, vitamin E, which is actually only tocotrienol. Now, don't go get some random vitamin E. Don't do that, because you don't want the other form of it. You want the tocotrienol form of it. And Dr. Clayton made sure to stress that multiple times, okay? I'm going to research exactly why, but just follow the suggestions here. Immune nutrition. So these are like the beta-glucans and the polysaccharides and the monosaccharides. Liposomal C, as well as D, zinc, magnesium, and A. Angiographis, Megaspore, Agricept. I always pronounce that wrong. I say Argisept. It's Agricept. I also rinse my vegetables and my meats in this, by the way. All right, so other points here. The virus will be gone by the summer. In fact, it can be destroyed by heat of 75 degrees or more. Oh, surprise. So if it's already warm in your area, you don't have to worry about it. If you want to disinfect your house, just turn up the heat to 75 and add a humidifier so your lungs don't get dry, and let the heat cook the virus for 48 hours. That's not a hard thing to do. I could do that easily. This is significant because the virus can stay active for up to 7 weeks in the carpets. And if your pets bring it in or your guests bring it in, you can bring it into your home. Make sure to wash your hands with soap and water. Don't forget the old saying from years and years ago growing up, wash your hands with soap and water. It actually literally wipes these germs off of you. Don't put your hand in your mouth after you shake somebody's hand, or if you open doorknobs, don't put your hand in your mouth at all. How about that? That's easy. And make sure you're eating a clean diet, of course, one that doesn't suppress your immune system. What do you think is the #1 food that suppresses your immune system? Sugar. Okay, so stay away from sugar and use natural probiotics and foods with probiotics, such as, kombucha, kimchi, natural probiotic containing foods. You can actually ferment your own foods, and then make sure you support your immune system. And the last one, avoid mental, emotional stress, because it is the #1 thing out of all this stuff that suppresses your immune system more than anything else. So if you have a mental, emotional stress, it's going to trump everything we're talking about right now. So get a grip on your stress. And finally, what happens if I get sick? Like, let's just say the worst happens and I get sick, because I get stressed when I'm traveling. So what happens if I get stressed and I get sick? I'm going to go straight to IVC therapy, vitamin C therapy. I'm going to go straight to ozone therapy. I have my own generator. And I might even go to the clinic and do some IV ozone. And I'm going to load up on silver. I'm going to double dose it. That's what I would do. Okay. So anyway, I have to run to a meeting. I just wanted to say, hey, give you some quick suggestions. I will be posting this protocol, these supplements online in the next, sometime tonight. So be on the lookout for that. I'm a little busy and I have a dentist appointment at 2. So, but I will definitely do that. So hit me up if you have any questions, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.